Shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakakwadash. See, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakakwadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which the apostle elders a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump right into this video. This is concerning this Iran situation. It's heating up because these are the prophecies that we're waiting on. We're waiting on this third world war, but we're also waiting on the MOTB, all right, to those that can accept it and receive it, that there is going to be a time of trying. Just like a brother said in the video, that it's a testing. You know, the Lord got to prove gold. Just like when you make jewels, you have to prove stones. You have to see if it's authentic. You have something called pyrite, which they call fool's gold, which looks like real gold, but it's not the same thing. All right, so Yahweh Shai is trying the elect and purifying them. It says in a furnace of affliction. All right, the Lord he's chose us in these hard times that's coming up. So the main thing is to keep faith and trust and keep hope in Yahweh Shai. But let's jump into some of these headlines. And then my page, GMS News, they flagged it. They took it down, or they didn't take it down, but they paused it for a video I uploaded about Trump's first term concerning the general assassination. So they went all the way back there to take down the video and then to give me a strike. So I'll be uploading on GMS Missouri and JC Moamath, and I'll be, when my other channel becomes available, I'm going to continue to upload on both the channels to build those up. That's just the spirit. When something happens, to see how you can get better, see how you can improve, see how you can move forward. So here's one of the headlines. It says China and Russia unite behind Iran in challenge to Trump's plan. Okay, it says China and Russia have publicly aligned themselves with Iran, denouncing U.S. sanctions and expressing support for Iran's efforts to revive the 2015 nuclear deal. So you see all these things that are taking place, and then Iran just unveiled its underground city, missile city. So this ain't some kind of run-of-the-mill country that doesn't know what they're doing. They have underground bases. They have missiles that are locked and loaded, that are prepared. And these are intricate cities, if that's the word. They're detailed. Look at that. That's advanced. So that don't look like you can strike that. So what's the option that they're thinking is to use a nuclear weapon. Okay. That's what they're going to have to use to be able to strike deep enough into these bases to even make a difference or a dent. So Yahweh Shai is moving this thing along. And then you have reports where Yemen has struck a U.S. fighter jet and carriers. I mean, you can see it just keeps going on and on and on, man. You know, that's a very detailed and well thought out base that they have prepared, man. So the mentality is that the U.S. will have to use thermonuclear weapons to be able to reach these places or tomb them. That's the word they've used is to pretty much tomb it. If you block the entrances and exits, that means nothing can come in or out. So they're planning these things. It's already in the works. So Yahweh Shai is moving this thing along and moving it quickly. Okay. So the mentality is that this war is inevitable because it's prophecy, it's prophetic. So all these things that Yahweh Shai is setting up that we should watch for. Let's see here. Oh, this is 2021. We ain't gonna go there. And to prove that Iran is talking greasy, man, they're not backing down. Okay, they're not backing down. I got this article here. It wants me to open it out, but we'll read through the video, and this is fair use. This is for educational purposes only. So we'll read through this video and show what they're saying. But the article, the body of it, it says World War III, Iran confirms it will strike U.S. and Israel, reveals new weapons, top general says. So let's play. It says ready to strike Iran, boast of military power. You can see in the background. And they've always been, back and forth, but it's going to intensify. As let's see here. Let's read it. It says, as Tehran rejects talks with Trump, big war next. See? And Trump has already sent to Congress the permission to strike. It says new tensions with Israel and U.S. Iran said it's ready to strike. It said it's ready to strike enemies. So it's talking about plural. And you can see the missiles in the background, and you can see the different yields and different things that they can put on there. It says Iran's electronic industry chief and said they are ready for precise response to enemies from afar. Let's make sure that's what it said. Yep, from afar. So not just close, from afar. And what are they speaking about? The U.S. It says Iran's defense military power is completely indigenous, very general. That means they all did it inside their country. They didn't have to go outside. They had help from Russia and China, of course, because that's their allies. He said Iran is now fully capable of manufacturing defensive equipment in multiple fields. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. That's pretty much what they're saying. Over 90% of equipment and systems used by Iran's forces designed, manufactured locally, so they don't have to outsource it. So they can continue to fight without having to worry about going or waiting on shipments of equipment or components for their weapons. It says to date, more than 7,000 systems have been produced in various sectors and fields and provided to the armed forces. Iran expects experts have succeeded to design equipment, including telecommunication domestically. Sure, this is okay. It's on. Salakia. I wanted to make sure the volume was on. It says Iran experts have succeeded to design equipment, including telecommunications, radar. Let's read it again. Telecommunications, radar, electronic warfare, fire control, and sonar systems. Domestically designed and manufactured, denied, destroyed, joined Iran's Navy in 2022. As far traveled around the world, covering more than 55,000 kilometers across 5 oceans. It says this shows the country's defense industry's power, which is capable of producing equipment that can safely navigate into harsh oceans conditions. So they boasted, man, because they really know what's the really boast on it is that they probably have that bomb. All right, that's why Joel says this. This is the book of Joel 3 and verse 10. We'll read let's read in the NLT, and then we'll jump to the Amplified. NLT, it says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train every weakling to be warriors. And these nations were once weak nations. They weren't military powers. They weren't military might. That's why Babylon had the more money spent on their military might. Why? Because that's what cements and solidifies the U.S. dollar's control over the world. It's backed by military. That's why military bases are in these countries. It's because it's occupation. The apostle brought that out. If you have a military base on another person's land, that is an occupation. Okay, you saying to that place that you have military control over that area. Just like Rome in the time of the first beast, all right? The deadly wound that was healed is what you call Babylon today. But during that time, they ruled the other nations by having their military in those regions, just like Jerusalem. There was a barracks there. Okay, just same thing we did. We built garrisons in Edom and different places like that. King David did that. So it's a well known when you are the leading power, the superpower, or the head at the time, you can do that. You can build places and build bases in other nations' land because you are the power over there. You're occupying them. Joel 3 and 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what they're saying. They're saying, look, we ready, man. We're not scared of you anymore. And that's what they're pushing in the world, is because this is a third world war. The U.S. is doing the same by way of its allies. You have Israel that it's backing with weapons, with logistics, all these things. And then you have the war front in Russia with Ukraine and now the Middle East. So all these things are theaters of war that are happening. It is a war. A war What is a definition? Let's see. Let's see. Definition of war. A war involving many large nations in all different parts of the world. The name is commonly given to wars in of 1941 or 1914 and 18 and 1939 to 1945, although only the second of these was truly global. So we have a global conflict around the world currently as we speak right now. That's what you see taking place. It's a war culminating, because the Bible and the scriptures tell you that the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe is representing woe, destruction, woe. So it's prophesied through John the Baptist that was given by Yahweh Shai, the spirit of Yahweh Shai that came to him and gave him the understanding and sent angels and messengers to give him the visions. And it was said that there will be a third world war. And we're in that time now, and that's going to also culminate into the coming and the revealing of Yahweh Shai on the planet Earth and the establishment of the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to the Negro, Latino, and Native American man. So these things will happen, and the Lord is moving on the minds of these other nations. He's moving on the mind of Iran, he's moving on the mind of Russia, and he's moving on the mind of the U.S. Just like in the time of Nebuchadnezzar was shown a statue of succession of nations that would rule all the way down to the time that we're living today. And how would those nations be ruled if there was not influences on their minds and power that was given to them? Because the Lord said he setteth down one and bringeth up another. So who made America a powerhouse? Who made Iran get these weapons? The Lord did. Exodus 15 says the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So the Lord moves these people. And this also says that the Lord is the Lord of Sabaoth. All right, Lord of the armies, not the Sabbath, Sabaoth. Okay, so he's moving these pieces around, these chess pieces to fulfill prophecy. We're living in that time now, man. All right, so let's read this. It's Ezekiel 38 and verse 7. It says, "Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." And who's that? Persian. The Russians will come to the aid of Persian. I just read you in that article that Iran and Russia are standing with Iran, or Slovakia, China and Russia are standing with Iran concerning this skirmish that's coming, because they're BRICS. At the end of the day, they're building a new financial structure, which does not include the U.S. dollar being the dominant currency. All right, which we know also that's the elites moving on the left-hand side, or the other side. They're Ordo Ab Chaos, because they're going to be the ones to control that industry also too, through their banking and through the money, because they control the resources on the planet Earth, and they have the weaponry that can take these places out if it doesn't hold toe. All right, so it's all a theater of war. That was the main thing I wanted to give, and this to let brothers know I'll be uploading on this GMS Missouri JC Moa Moth. That way, the videos can keep coming out. And then whenever my GMS Missouri page becomes available, I'll be uploading on both of these. All right. So Lord willing, edifying lesson with that. I say call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Until the next time, I say shalom. And more and out and never keep faith. Shalom.